Hello again, YouTube. Truth Man here. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel. Y'all notice I always like to start out by telling you the Truth Man is here. And I deal in truth, man, no matter what the subject is. Of course, there are some subjects where it's just a matter of opinion. But when it comes to these relationships, I preach the truth. The truth is that there's exceptions to every rule, but there's certain ways, certain things going on in this country that are poisoning relationships and normal biblical ones at that. What I like to say is some stuff, we hear a lot of commentary, we see a lot of content on YouTube in this manosphere in regards to relationships. But I think some things you can only understand if you've been in a marriage or a bad marriage. If you haven't, you don't know yet what it's like to try to keep your family together, to try to be under the same roof as your kids when your relationship goes sour. And it's like, you say things like, well, we could just, you do your thing, I do mine, blah, blah, blah. But then it's like you can feel that negative energy. Like, imagine hearing somebody talk about energies and frequencies just giving off a negative towards you. See, it's some stuff y'all not gonna understand because y'all not married. Y'all haven't never been married. Now, in terms of the field, being out there, it's some things I won't understand. Like, it ain't a lot of things because you in the field when you at work. You in the field when you see things and hear things. But when it comes to marriage, that's a whole different beast. The whole different beast. So I was watching a clip from Coach Greg Adams, and the woman was on there saying that the reason why women shut down on men sexually is because they don't feel emotionally safe. I can say that that's somewhat true, but I can say that a lot of them shut down before that and then use that as an excuse. You know when the shutdown is happening, when you start coming to her and it doesn't happen. She either falls asleep or has something, oh, my knee hurt, my back hurt, my arm hurt, my head hurts. And when you see that frequently happening, you know that the shutdown has already begun. So when the shutdown begins, your wife is gonna look for an excuse to justify that behavior. And also, the shutdown can begin when she start liking other guys, start talking to other guys, having emotional affairs and stuff. Sometimes it begins before that, sometimes that's the beginning of it. I think most of the time, they already in shutdown phase. And along with the shutdown phase, they go through this phase where they are trying to dominate you, trying to get you to do things that they could do, like carry their purse. They say things to you like, man, you need to be a man. How can a woman tell a man that he needs to be a man? When you start hearing that kind of talk, I don't care if you the brokest dude in America. If you hearing that talk, you already know that she done checked out on you. She just might be saving face. When they start talking about leaving, when they start saying you need to be a man, when they start shutting down, and right, okay, the shutdown happens first. The shutdown, like where you go to her for sex and you're not even getting it 50% of the time. 50% of the time that you go to her for it or more, it doesn't happen. That's the shutdown. That's what I call a shutdown. Now, during the shutdown, you're going to see an increase in arguments. You're going to see her become territorial with little things, like she'll nickel and dime you, because the shutdown has begun. Then, when you do have sex with them during the shutdown, it's like they're not going to want to do it. They're just doing it so you won't do nothing, or they're just doing it to shut you up. So it's not going to be the caliber performance that she probably gave you in the beginning, when she might have even liked you a little bit, or at least she wanted you to think she did. So next would be the emotional affairs, or actual physical affair. And you may never find out. Because if it's one thing they'll lie about, it's cheating. Because they don't want you to think they're a little dirty little hoe. So they'll take a lie like that to the grave if they done did something like that. That's going to the grave with them, because they don't want you, especially if they nagging you and criticize you, they'll never give you that satisfaction of knowing that they're a dirty little hoe and done did some dirty little stuff. Never. Never in life would they give you that satisfaction. They'll say nothing happened. That's why, like I told you, the two legs they got to stand on is simps and the church. Because the simp will pipe them down and won't say nothing and keep the secret. He'll come in the middle of the night while you on a road trip for your job, while you on third shift, or while you somewhere else, even while you at a funeral out of town or some stuff. He'll come over there and pipe her down. And then for the next week or so, she gonna be telling you no. I'm just tired. Can we do it tomorrow? That kind of stuff. She gonna be telling you no. That's why I say that a lot of y'all just, you won't know the full extent because you've never been married, or of what I'm talking about. That's why I be hearing the guys that's been married, they be saying the same stuff. And it's not like we copying off each other. Great minds think alike. So when she shuts you down, it's gonna be more arguing, more fight, less sex, more demands. It's funny how a lot of women do less and expect more. And that's why, like, when I look at women and they like you and stuff and they be going out of their way, you can't get too excited, because that act can probably fade. That act can probably get the curtain called. The curtain's gonna close. And it's gonna end. They're gonna take their vows and the curtain gonna close. So I'm not trying to tell you to get married to understand. I'm telling you that a lot of married men that embrace truth already know what I'm talking about. They know I'm telling the truth. They know I'm telling the truth. A lot of these wives, a lot of these women expect you to just stick to their lackluster performances, if any. A lot of time they'll sleep in a different room, and their main motive will be to keep you from wanting to do that. But when it comes to do that work, though, she dreaming about him. She dreaming about the guy at work. She touching herself thinking about him. But when it comes to you, Why you don't ever do this? Why you don't do that? You should have did this. You should have did that. They'll hang up in your face, which, by the way, there's not many things that a woman can do that's more disrespectful than them hanging a phone up in your face without saying bye. But they'll do that because they think they can. You let them get away with it. That, don't, to me, call me petty. But to me, when they start doing that, man, it's time to make a move. What they gonna do next? Suck some dude off right in front of you? I mean, if you let them get away with hanging up phones in your face, attacking you physically, then what's gonna be next? I think it would be fun if me, you, and another man, that kind of old crazy stuff. And they'll say stuff like that or be thinking it and still think they spiritual, still think they connected to the Most High. Because what they don't realize is how you treat your husband is an indication of how you treat God. If you're not submissive to your husband, I already know you're not submissive to God. Because you can't even see the Most High. So that's why I say, like, in my church, that's big. Like, women in my church, that's going to be like one of the biggest things that I look at and that I emphasize. Because if the home life is good, then they're going to give off a positive energy that's going to create miracles. That's why the church can't do miracles. That's one of the main reasons, because you got all these unsubmissive women in there and you got all these beta male simp dudes in there. Two things the Most High don't like. But I just thought I would talk to you about that real quick. This is The Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simp, and All Subjects channel.